Good morning. My name's Amelia Lee. On this Tuesday, January 28th at 5:30. We are just 30 minutes away from 6 o'clock this morning, and we're also at that time where we get to check in with our friend meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at the forecast this morning. Megan, all we had talked about last week was the cold, so I'm so glad that you have the opportunity to give some good news today. That just warms my heart as the sun warms everyone else.
Yeah, warms us and the snow, right? We still have some snow across the area, so hopefully we're gonna have that warming and see the rest of the snow taper out. That'll be some good news, right? Now, speaking of snow, we do have the slightest chance for like a snowflake or two as you're heading towards Moorhead. This is very light, and I'm not expecting much to be on the ground at all. Just kind of a nice little flurry this morning, but it's gonna be quickly out of our region, and then we'll be dry for the rest of today and the rest of tomorrow. So there's some good news, right? Another piece of good news is starting off the day, those temperatures aren't bad. I mean, it's still cold in my opinion, but normally this time of year, we're in the upper 20s for those overnight lows, and we are in the low 30s and upper 20s, so a little bit warmer than that. And as we head into the afternoon, those temperatures will definitely be normal than what we expect this time of year. We are in the upper 40s, and a lot of cities are hitting that 50-degree mark today. So maybe it's time to break out those flip-flops with those warmer weathers. I'm definitely excited. Here's that planning forecast for today as you're heading out the door. What can you expect? Well, we will have those temperatures warming up as we're heading into the afternoon, seeing us hitting the high temperature on that 4 o'clock hour, and no rain chances, no snow chances as you're heading into the main portion of your day. Amelia?
All right, Megan, thank you. Another setback in a high-profile murder case where the daughter of an Eastern Kentucky native and former lawmaker was shot to death in his mansion. That violence happened in February of 2022. Shannon Gildy was set to face a jury trial in May of this year. But as WYMT's Phil Pendleton explains, the trial was pushed back another year.
It has been almost 3 years since Jordan Morgan was murdered inside her father's home, and her family is still seeking justice.
You know, Jordan was laying in bed asleep and was shot 11 plus times while she was asleep. I mean, I can't think of anything so horrific.
Shannon Gilday was arrested a week later with police saying that he wanted to take over the home because it had a doomsday bunker. Middle evaluations took years to complete, but last May he was found competent to stand trial, and a trial date was set for this May, a death penalty hearing for Monday. Both were again delayed after new prosecuting attorneys were brought in.
I don't know what's going on there, but this will be, if it's continued today, the third time this hearing has been set.
The prosecution changed at my request, but I will not give you a reason for that. Should be easy to surmise, though.
Defense attorneys stated that they were ready for both the death penalty hearing to take place today and for the trial in May of this year. Morgan's family has not minced words that their anger the case has not gone to trial yet. Regardless of when it does finally take place, they want the death penalty.
What Gilday did justifies the sentence of death, even if he stays on death row for 30 years.
The death penalty hearing will now take place in May of this year, the trial in May of next year. In Madison County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The court has also given no reason for the new attorneys other than they are from the state attorney general's office. The 3 men arrested in connection to a murder in Pike County were arraigned in Pike County District Court. Michael Brown, Anthony Browning, and Michael Shortridge were each arrested earlier this month, charged with the murder of Pike County man Chris Lester. Shortridge was arraigned last week, and his co-defendants in the case appeared virtually for their arraignments Monday. In addition to the murder charge, Brown and Browning each face a charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The 3 men are expected to be back in court next week.
At that point, the district judge will listen to evidence from the Commonwealth and determine if there's enough evidence to have it bound over to the grand jury.
The preliminary hearing for the men is set for February 6th at 1 in the afternoon. The case against one man charged with murder in Whitley County is heading to a grand jury. During a pretrial conference Monday morning, probable cause was found in the case against Brian Randall. Police say Randall and Richard Cox got into a fight over dogs. Police later found Cox near a dumpster. Randall remains in jail on a $1 million bond. In Laurel County, one woman charged with murder in the death of her husband appeared in court yesterday. In a pretrial conference for Yolanda Lamelli, a motion was presented by her attorney to dismiss the case, but that motion was denied by a judge. A final pretrial conference in the case was set for May 1st and a jury trial for May 13th. One person is dead following a crash in Perry County. Police responded to the multi-vehicle crash on the Hal Rogers Parkway just after 10 on Saturday morning. According to the Perry County Coroner's Office, 47-year-old Charlie Mullins of Bullen was pronounced dead Saturday afternoon at Hazard ARH. Mullins was a healthcare provider at Hometown Clinic in Hyden. 2 other people were flown to UK Hospital in Lexington for serious injuries. State police say someone was flown to a trauma center after being hit by a vehicle. It happened yesterday afternoon on Kentucky 1304 near Dozier Branch in Knox County. The pedestrian's name and condition has not been released. The Richland Fire Department and Knox EMS responded along with KSP. The National Park Service is looking for information about a recent theft that vandalized a historic building. It happened at Mill Springs Battlefield National Monument. Park staff recently discovered that wood siding was removed from a historic barn that sits next to Highway 235 in Nancy. This particular act of vandalism and theft is considered a federal crime. Law enforcement is investigating. Anybody with information is asked to contact the Mill Springs Battlefield Administrative Office. Police at the University of Kentucky are investigating the report of a sexual assault on campus. UK police say it happened Friday, January 17th, inside the victim's room in a residence hall. UK police say the victim knows the 2 suspects, and the investigation is currently underway. UK says anyone can report any incident of harassment or sexual assault to the school's Title IX coordinator. Many folks across eastern Kentucky are living without running water and have been for several days. The Harlan County Judge Executive declared a state of emergency, and we know of issues in several other counties. Willie County Maintenance Supervisor Miko Riley says there are numerous leaks throughout the south end of that county. While they are able to find and repair most of them, there are still more that crews are working to find, which is why water was shut off to the south end.
First, you got to find it, and it's not as easy as what everybody thinks. It don't always just squirt up out of the ground. I know we've had them shut off, but we had to do that to get water in our tanks, you know, for the city. You know, we couldn't just run out. Just bear with us. We're here to fix it. I mean, that's just what we do.
Riley says crews are continuing to work to find those leaks and help folks get back to normal. The Bell County community is mourning the loss of jailer Robin Venable, a beloved leader and friend who dedicated his life to law enforcement and public service. He died after a battle with cancer. WYMT's Caroline Mueller spoke with county leaders about the legacy he leaves behind.
Those who knew him say Robin Venable was a man whose presence lit up every room he entered. Known for his infectious smile and quick wit, Robin left a lasting impression. Bell County Sheriff Mitchell Williams says Robin's larger-than-life personality made him not only a respected leader, but also a friend to all.
Robin had a huge personality. Robin commanded your attention when you talked to him or when he came in a room. And I don't know anybody that's left a conversation with Robin that didn't have a smile on their face.
His impact extended beyond his role as jailer. He built meaningful relationships and mentored many throughout his career.
A lot of the younger deputies went to him for advice and guidance, and he would be there for them.
Bell County Judge Executive Albie Brock shared similar sentiments, describing Venable as a man full of joy and compassion, even in the face of difficult circumstances.
Robin was one of the most joyous guys you'd ever be around. He always had a smile on his face. Even as a law enforcement officer, was very compassionate. You know, he was, you know, good to the people that he had unfortunate encounters with in his job. He treated them with respect, and, you know, he brought that same quality with him into the jail. He treated everyone that was in there with compassion and, you know, with decency, and that's part of what made him a good human and a great jailer.
His contributions to the detention center went beyond leadership. Bell County Attorney Chris Douglas says Venable implemented meaningful programs like baptism services, AA, and NA meetings.
It's for his good heart. He had the biggest heart of any individual I've ever had the pleasure of knowing.
Douglas visited him over the weekend and says even in his final days, Venable was smiling and making people laugh. Flags outside of county buildings were lowered to half staff Monday in his honor. In Bell County, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Robin Venable was 59 years old. We will share his funeral arrangements on WYMT.com when they become available. Still to come, Wendy's is teaming up with Girl Scout cookies to create a limited time thin mint flavored shake.
And rain is in the forecast this week. I'll have more coming up.